The Kirlian Frequency is a very bizarre show. It was created by Christian Ponce out of Argentina, so the show was originally done in Spanish. The first 5 episodes are dubbed on Netflix, with the 6th episode available with subtitles on YouTube. And it's about a radio DJ in the town of Kirlian, just talking about the strange world that they live in and all these weird things that are happening, all these spooky, scary monsters that are coming out, and people that come into the town or are already inside the town, and just what's going on in their lives and why this place is so bizarre. It's a really interesting idea. The radio DJ has a really nice design to him. In fact, this entire show has just perfect design. I love the style they went with. It's got this kind of slow-moving comic book feel to it, and I have to say all the character designs are fantastic. They really do look great, even though the animation can be a little bit choppy at times. They make up for it with just the overall look of the show and the sound design. Holy crap, the sound design in this show. If taking one look at this, I would think my favorite thing about it would just be the art style. But no, the sound design in this show is phenomenal. Some of the best I've ever seen in a project like this. Every monster noise, every bit of ambience, every choice in music, whatever it comes down to, this show nails it. It has a specific tone, it wants to go for it, it wants the audience to feel, and the music and the ambience and anything they do when it comes to sound is perfect. Whether it's adding a little lint to someone's voice with some kind of modulator, pitching it down, whatever it is, giving it a cassette tape kind of replaying vibe, a phone call message, if you will. All of it sounds phenomenal. I'm gushing about it. I like it so much. I closing my eyes and just picturing some of it. It sounds so awesome. And that kind of makes up for the somewhat choppy animation. And this show, it's not perfect. It's not one of those hidden gems you find where it's like, wow, this is one of the most incredible things I've ever seen, and becomes a cult classic. I think this has the potential to become a cult classic. No problem. It's nice and short, easy for people to get into and talk about, and all the strange stuff that's going on. It's got a great art style, but the first 3 episodes really struggle. They're a little bit predictable, and when you only have 8 to 9 minutes per episode, you don't want it to be predictable. You never really want anything to be predictable, but at least in a 20-minute show, you have more time to make up for it with whatever you're doing, like scarier moments, whatever it is to make up for that predictability. There has to be some other kind of entertainment. But the horror and the stories in this show are the highlight of it. It's what's going on in the show. So you want that to be really good. First 3 episodes aren't great. The next 3 episodes are really fantastic. They take it way up, like way above. A huge jump in quality in those back 3 episodes. They're way more unique in their storytelling. They're a lot more focused. They get the job done perfectly for a show like this. There is one aspect I genuinely dislike about this show, and that's its use of this text on screen, kind of like a comic book, like little subtitles almost just in the show. I don't know if it's a style choice. If it is, I don't like it. I don't know if it's a translation choice because the show is dubbed on Netflix. However, it gets kind of dropped off as the show's moving along, leading me to believe it's a style choice. It's the one thing I strongly dislike about this show. I just think the voice acting is so great and the sound design on each voice is so great. That should be how we get our information and our dialogue. There's no reason for text. It doesn't really add anything from the show. If anything, it takes away those voice acting moments. But like I said, the episodes are relatively short. They're 8 to 9 minutes, and at most, to watch all 6 episodes, it would probably only take you about an hour. If maybe you went to get a drink or a sandwich or something like that, took little breaks in between, whatever it is, at most it's going to take you an hour to watch this entire series. So there's really no reason not to give it a try. It's shorter than a movie and slightly longer than a single episode of a 40-minute TV show. There's no reason not to give an entire series that only takes up that amount of time a try, especially if you like adult animation, sound design, good use of music, and the style you see before you right now. If you're not on board with any of that stuff, probably give the Kirlian Frequency a skip. If you're not a fan of horror, then maybe give the Kirlian Frequency a skip. But I think it definitely has its upsides, and I really enjoyed watching it, especially with those back 3 episodes. No spoilers here, but I really enjoyed those back 3 episodes. If I had to give it a score out of 10, probably a 7. My mind says I want to make it a 6, but the sound design is just that good that I want to bump it up to that 7 spot, where it's just really enjoyable to watch and listen to. Despite the story being a little shaky at first, I think there's still a lot to enjoy. So go check out the Kirlian Frequency on Netflix and YouTube. I am hoping you won't regret it. I understand there are some people who just can't get behind shows like this. So let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments below if you have seen it or if you've watched it and have come back. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. If you're into these kind of obscure animation projects from the past few years, I recently talked about my entire high school sinking into the sea. That's another very uniquely animated movie. I'll have that video linked at the end of this one. And until next time, I will see you all next time. I did not think that transitioned through. Goodbye. Well, shit.